The Plaza Art Fair this weekend is bringing artists from all over the country to show off their pieces, but we've got homegrown talent right here with Cathy Browski, who actually graduated from the Art Institute here in Kansas City, and she says that anyone can create in clay. So what exactly does that mean?
Well, it's true. Anyone can create in clay. It's very easy to begin a project, and if you mess up, you just wad it back up and begin again.
And she actually
very forgiving.
Can prove that. We've got it right here. So what are some of the first steps when you're going through making your pieces?
When I'm going to make something like this dog sculpture, I start off with different shapes, and I might start off with a solid piece of clay that then I make into a cone piece using a found object. This is a dibble that you use to plant in the garden.
And so this was actually used like for his legs over there?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. So I'll make a lot of those shapes and use this to make them hollow, just like that. And so of course in studio there's a lot more time spent with these to make them that way. And then this is a pestle, and this is used to make the body shape. And so I can just press clay around it and very carefully start to manipulate that so that then it becomes this shape, which then is this shape.
I love seeing the art being made in motion right in front of our eyes. Where do you get all of the inspiration from?
Well, the dogs came from my own pet.
Oh.
Yeah, she was wonderful. And it would be kind of funny, my husband would catch me in studio sometimes with a little piece of, you know, a treat or something that I would be trailing around in a circle, and she'd be following it so I could get the neck correct on how it would turn and twist, or, you know, have her jump up in the air with a little treat so I could get that full action pose.
So it kind of sounds like you're sketching off of real life movement.
Definitely.
And what is that prep work that goes in before you ever start?
A lot of times I will do, I will have titles in mind or a story in mind, and that kind of comes first often. And so I will then do some sketches from those titles, and from there I have to then make all of these pieces and decide exactly how they're going to fit together in a gestural pose. And
that makes such awesome, or it makes great sense. Can you please explain some of the pieces that are in front of us?
Well, this piece with the fish and the dog is called Traveling Companions, and it's about how in our own lives opposites attract, and we might not bring the same exact things to the table, but we need each other, and we travel through life together.
When did you find out that you wanted to be an artist?
Oh boy. Probably before kindergarten.
My gosh.
I think when I was a child, we had a place that my parents would go into the country every weekend. It was just an old farmhouse, but there was a muddy creek there, and the muddy creek and the sandbox were my two most favorite places to play in. And so yeah, I knew, and I would draw everything at that point, even kindergarten, first grade. Yeah.
I love hearing these stories where it's like people have really found their true calling and knew from a very early age. I think a lot of us may be curious how the clay transforms from this to a beautiful piece of art.
Sure, sure. Well, once I have pieces like this, then I'll use different tools to attach them. So with everything that you attach in clay, you've got to kind of rough up the surface, use a tiny bit of water, but then this can attach onto this larger piece, and you can see it start to come together almost immediately.
Oh, wow.
And now I've got all my fingerprints on here, and I will actually add extra clay to these pieces. And so with that, I've got quite a bit of bulk here. And then I'll use a tool like this to shave all that extra bulk off, and then also make a pattern all over the clay that looks more like hair or an abstract version of it.
Oh, that's amazing. Now, you've been showing in the Plaza Art Fair for 22 years.
I think, yeah.
What does it mean to be showing in your own backyard?
Wow. To have the support of my community over all of these years has been a blessing. I mean, I'm almost speechless about it, but it's so wonderful to have someone come to me and say, I have been saving for a piece for years from you. And that just speaks to my heart so deeply.
Well, Cathy, I'm sure that all of your patrons really love all their pieces because you take such dedication in creating them. Thank you, and you can check her out at the Plaza Art Fair.